What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a video from the Pain Explainer. Shout out to the Pain Explainer. I think that's my second video reacting to, you know what I'm saying? And the title says today, the most painful cult leaders' deaths. Pretty interesting video. We're gonna get into it. Let's go. Again, I probably only know two people on there. Yes, Charles Mason and Jim Jones. That's it. The other people, I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't heard none of these names or seen none of them. We're gonna learn something today. Let's go. And before we continue, shout out to the people who've been showing off the videos. Really mean a lot to me. And here's my Instagram right here. Shoot me a DM or what videos you want me to talk about, topics you want me to talk about, uh, discussions you might want to have, or just connect with people who show love to the videos and stuff like that. It really means a lot. But let's get into it. Enough of me talking. Let's go.
Jim Jones. It was November 18th, 1978, and armed guards had surrounded the main meeting building of Jones's cult in Jonestown, the settlement he created and named after himself, deep in the Guyanese jungle. Hundreds of members of the People's Temple, Jones's cult, were previously told by him that the U.S. military would soon come to kill them, after they had killed Congressman Leo Ryan when he came to investigate the settlement. Instead, he called for what he described as revolutionary suicide, saying that death was simply moving to another level of existence and that they should die with dignity. On that day, cyanide mixed with flavor aid was given out, and those who refused to drink it were injected with the poison. Parents were told to give it to their children first, and screams were heard as the poison took effect, while armed guards made sure no one could escape. In
Oh,
total,
that's crazy.
909 people died, including 276 children. When Guyanese soldiers entered Jonestown, they found Jim Jones dead on the stage, lying on a pillow near his chair with a gunshot wound to the head. His death
Oh,
was ruled a
shit.
suicide, although his son later suggested that someone else may have shot him at his request. High levels of a barbiturate, a sedative drug, were also found in his body. His remains were cremated, and his ashes scattered in the Atlantic Ocean. The Jonestown Massacre was the largest deliberate loss of American civilian life until September 11, 2001. David Koresh. On February 28, 1993,
Nah, but
federal agents
that's one thing. How evil you gotta be to like tell people to drink poison and rinse them. That the afterlife, is just so grateful. Well, none of us have actually visited the afterlife, not me personally, or you. Or if you did, you could leave a comment, tell me. But I never had no conversation with anybody, we'll live in the afterlife. So we gotta enjoy what we have today and not waste it. Right, make the best of it, so we could remember it. But let's continue.
moved in on the Branch Davidians' Mount Carmel Center in Texas. The raid quickly turned into a gun battle that killed 4 agents and 6 members of the religious group. So after that, the FBI took over, treating the situation as a hostage crisis. For 51 days, negotiators spoke with the group's leader, David Koresh, who had been wounded in the initial shootout. Koresh insisted he needed time to finish religious writings before he would consider surrendering. By April 19th, however, U.S. Attorney General Janet Reno approved the FBI's plan to force an end to the standoff. Using an armored vehicle with a battering ram, agents began pumping tear gas into the building to push the Davidians out. Instead, fires broke out inside the compound, spreading quickly. Barricaded within, 79 people died,
Oh
including
man.
21 children under the age of 16. Autopsies
Shh.
showed that many didn't die from the flames, but from single gunshot wounds to the head, and Koresh himself was among them. His body was badly burned, and it was never confirmed whether he shot himself or was killed by someone else. One FBI
Jeez.
theory suggested that Steve Schneider, Koresh's top guy, may have killed him before taking his own life. These events also influenced the Oklahoma City bombing 2 years later, which was carried out on the anniversary of the siege's final day, killing 168 people and injuring 684. Marshall Applewhite. In
That's
March
crazy.
1997, members of the Heaven's Gate group, led by Marshall Applewhite, isolated themselves in a mansion in Rancho Santa Fe in California.
Yo, Timmy White, bro, look evil. Like just looking at it, you can tell like he up to no good. Like he have no good intentions, bro. He just look like an evil person. No disrespect, like
California.
So,
Applewhite told them that a spacecraft was following the approaching comet Hale-Bopp and would take them to a higher level of existence. He claimed the ship
what?
was being hidden by the government and that his long-dead partner, Bonnie Nettles, was on board waiting for them. The group recorded farewell videos praising Applewhite and calling the plan their final exit. In his own last message, Applewhite said they hated life on Earth and were ready to leave it. Over 3 days, starting around March 22nd, most members took a mix of drugs and alcohol, then placed plastic bags over their heads. They wore identical black uniforms with Nike shoes, and each had a small bag next to them containing a few dollars in identification. Applewhite was among the last 4 to die, helped by 3 others who then killed themselves. His body was found on the bed in the master bedroom. Medical examiners later found that he did not have cancer, as he had believed, but he did have heart disease. On March 26th, police arrived after an anonymous tip and discovered 39 bodies. It was the largest mass suicide of U.S. citizens since
Oh man,
Jonestown in 1978. Most of those who died
that's crazy, bro. What? So you see, that's why you don't take no drugs, man. Stay away from it. Like, no, it's just not good, bro. Like, it's not good. Jesus, let's leave the drugs alone, bro. Swear it will do you better in the future. God dang.
had been in the group for about 20 years, fully devoted to Applewhite's teachings. Roch Thériault. In the late 1980s, Gabrielle Lavallee, a former member of the Ant Hill Kids, suffered extreme abuse in the Ontario commune led by Roch Thériault, leader of the Ant Hill Kids. She was burned on her private parts with a welding torch, had a broken hypodermic needle lodged in her back, and had 8 teeth forcibly removed. After
Okay, nigga. That's just pure torture at this point, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, then what did she even do? Yeah, she must have did something to piss that boy off, man. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Thériault mutilated her as punishment for her first escape, she escaped again and went to
Oh,
the
trying to
authorities.
escape.
Thériault was arrested for assault, effectively ending the Ant Hill Kids. For years, officials had suspected abuse but couldn't fully investigate because the commune was registered as a church. Then, on February 26, 2011, Thériault, at 63 years old, was found dead near his cell in Dorchester. His cellmate, Matthew Gerard MacDonald, already serving life for another murder, had stabbed him in the neck with a homemade shiv. MacDonald then walked to the guards, handed them the weapon and said, "That piece of shit is down on the range. Here's the knife. I've sliced him up." He later pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and received
Man.
another life sentence. Adolfo
Sheesh.
Constanzo. Adolfo Constanzo, a Mexican drug trafficker and cult leader, mixed his cartel business with Palo Mayom rituals, believing his magic was the reason for the cartel's success. For example, in 1989, Constanzo's men kidnapped 21-year-old pre-med student Mark Kilroy during spring break in Mexico. Constanzo killed him with a machete blow to the back of the neck, saying he needed a superior brain for a ritual. The police arrested several cult members and raided the ranch, where they found Constanzo's ritual cauldron containing human remains and unearthed 15 mutilated bodies. Constanzo fled to Mexico City with 4 followers, but when police arrived at their
I'm not gonna lie, like yo, the cartel, that's not. I don't know, bro. I think it's just like the Mexican gangs. They don't play, bro. Like straight evil. Like I'm saying, like straight. You just if you don't know if you don't know nothing about it, you won't know how evil they get. But yo, they pure evil, bro. Torture. I'm saying, and like, bro, they have no heart, cold like ice. I'm saying, no sorrow in their heart, but it's pure evil. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, if you know, you know, bro. And boys do get evil, but when they do, they don't play. They serious about it too. Crazy.
apartment for an unrelated matter, he thought they had come for him and opened fire, starting a standoff. Not wanting to be captured, he ordered follower Alvaro de Leon to shoot him and fellow cult member Martin Quintana. When police entered, both were dead. De Leon and Aldrete were arrested immediately. In total, 14 cult members were charged with crimes from murder to drug trafficking. Luc Jouret and Joseph DeMambro. In early October 1994, the leaders of the Order of the Solar Temple, Joseph DeMambro and Luc Jouret, began what they called a transit. They claimed it was not suicide, but a passage to another life, just like what we saw in the Heaven's Gate group with
Yeah,
Marshall
yeah,
Applewhite.
yeah.
In letters found later, they wrote that after death, members would gain solar bodies and travel to the star Sirius. On the night of October 2nd, the first deaths happened in the Swiss village of Sherry. 23
Okay, who's falling for that? Let's really be honest, you know? I don't know. That's not convincing to me at all. What? If I die, I'm gonna just no, no. I'm gonna
People were found
no.
dead, most
Like that's not gonna convince me. Is it that easy to convince people? So I think it is. I feel like if you constantly repeat something to somebody, you tell them on a consistent basis about something. I feel like slowly and slowly it will be in their mind so much that they will slowly believe that it is real. That's what I think it is. Because with all these things is when you actually think of it, it make no sense. But probably the constant saying of it, the practice of saying it, it became a reality for the people. So that's why they take part in it.
from gunshot wounds. Investigators believe
But that's just my theory, you know. That doesn't mean it's true. I'm just saying that's how I'm seeing it.
Jouret and follower Joel Egger killed several of them, including members labeled as traitors to the movement. Hours later, Jouret left Sherry for the village of Salvan. In Salvan, 25 more people died, including DeMambro and Jouret themselves. Many of the bodies were burned so badly that both leaders had to be identified through dental records. The victims there had been injected with poison before the buildings were set on fire. Afterward, a note found in DeMambro's home accused Jouret of acting on his own in Sherry and turning what was meant to be a peaceful transit into what they called a carnage. Their remains were cremated and buried in secret in an unmarked grave in Sion, Switzerland. Although the Solar Temple officially ended after their deaths, in 1995-16, more members killed themselves, and
Oh
another
man.
5 followed in 1997. Shoko Asahara. On March 20th, 1995, members of the Japanese cult Shinrikyo carried out a sarin gas attack on 5 Tokyo subway trains. 13 people were killed, dozens were seriously injured, and thousands more were affected. Prosecutors later said that the cult's leader himself, Shoko Asahara, ordered the attack after learning police planned large-scale raids on the group, hoping to distract them. Instead, it led to nationwide raids that uncovered stockpiles of chemicals capable of producing enough sarin to kill millions, as well
That's
as
crazy.
weapons and other illegal items at Aom's headquarters near Mount Fuji. On May 16, 1995, police found Asahara hiding inside a wall of one of the cult's buildings and arrested him. He was charged with 27 murders overall, and prosecutors argued that he planned to overthrow the Japanese government and make himself emperor, or at least stop police from shutting down the cult. His trial lasted over 7 years. In February 2004, he was sentenced to death by hanging. Appeals claiming he was mentally unfit failed, and 2 retrial requests were denied. So on July 6, 2018, Shoko Asahara was executed along with 6 senior members of the cult.
Hmm.
Charles Manson. Manson, the famous leader of the Manson family cult, was diagnosed over the years with schizophrenia and paranoid delusional disorder, though later research suggested he may instead have had bipolar disorder and psychopathy. By his 12th parole hearing in 2012, which he refused to attend, he was deemed far too dangerous to be released, with no possibility of another hearing until 2027. However, this date would never come for Manson. On January 1st, 2017, he was hospitalized for gastrointestinal bleeding, but was too weak for surgery and returned to prison a few days later. His health started getting worse and worse, and in November, he
That's
was
tough.
hospitalized again and died on November 19th at age 83 from
God
cardiac
dang.
arrest caused by respiratory
How did he leave that alone when he was that evil, bro? It doesn't make any sense then.
failure due to colon cancer. If you liked this video, subscribe